It's my Kozo look.
You're what now?
Kozo. Because it's not casual. They don't spell it with casual.
Okay.
Oh, oops, sorry. I didn't know we were recording.
It's fine.
Okay.
Wait, you press start for that.
Howdy do.
Scene starts up again.
No, it would be better.
You know, intro. Howdy. Howdy, y'all.
That's how you know.
So
they're
it's
Americans.
come to our attention.
We just kind of started thinking about it today.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
come to
Well,
our
somebody brought it to
attention.
your attention. I was
Was
thinking
Za
about it
pointed
in the
out to
shower.
me. She's having a laugh fest, and then she messaged me to tell me that apparently Nick and I sound a lot alike on the recording, which I don't hear it when I listen back to these videos.
Yeah,
hear it
that we never introduce each other, and like
And-
the goal ultimately is to try to get people to listen to this stuff that don't just know who we are already.
Yeah.
So, just I guess a little introduction. You know, I'm Nick.
And I'm Chris
Yeah, and I'm
of Ineedawater.
yeah. And the Ineedawater profile is all me. Like I run pretty much everything under that name.
Yeah.
You know, like any social media, fucking email, whatever. But you've been pretty much running the whole process
I've
so
just
far.
been,
Like, I have the
editing
name,
and uploading
but
the
yeah.
videos.
And I just had that name since I first got on YouTube and just kind of needed to come up with something to create an account.
Yeah.
So that's just always been my thing.
And I think I guess I should probably also mention I've been getting feedback from some of our friends who are big editors and filmmakers and stuff, and they advise that we start making like intro and outro sequences, like title sequences. But the problem with that is for some reason I'm using HitFilm to edit our videos, and I'm using like the free version. Well, for some reason, anytime I try to add a composite shot to make a title or make an ending title, the whole thing just crashes. Software just crashes. It's like, oh, we experienced a problem. Bye. Turns off.
Weird.
So I can't make title sequences for now, at least. I don't know if it needs to update or just something bugs out really bad. So we unfortunately have to stick with the simple. The game starts up, we start talking, and then it just comes to an end.
So bear with us, we are beginners.
Personally, I
this
prefer
stuff
to
out.
do it this way. I'm not a big whole
I kind of am too. Like I
title
will.
sequence person.
I feel like
You can just
having
load up your game load.
okay.
having an
Just go ahead.
outro and having an intro is definitely a good idea. That's why I'm trying to come up with ways to like open the episodes. I guess, like just with like a howdy y'all,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
something,
of course. You just
and
say,
then
hey, what's
just
up?
some sort of zinger at the end or whatever for us to finish it with, so that people know this is the beginning, this is the ending.
Yeah,
You know.
Your plus thing real quick.
So
So anyway,
yeah, we're
We're
back
getting
to
back into
back
this.
to Dragon Age.
well, that's the thing. We can hear
Two.
her no matter what. In the last video, Nick was loud, and even though she was over there, we could still hear her clearly. The one we could not hear was me.
All right.
Yeah, so the loud one we're talking about. That's
So
yeah, the loud one is Erica. She's the pretty much the one instructing Diva to my left. Yeah,
She's
so I
my
had to double-check
mentor.
that. Yeah, since she
So
knows
obviously we're
all
back
things
with
Dragon
some
Age,
more
and
Dragon
she's
Age
also
2.
pretty much been the fact checker
Yeah,
occasionally when we
true,
just
yeah,
we have things
basically.
and then she'll just pull it up as we mention it.
So yeah, we appreciate the help.
So
Always.
so
Yeah. Anyway, weapon-wise, I think we're good though.
Okay. Then you're gonna probably want to sell everything else because you're gonna be picking up a whole bunch of shit,
So
Okay.
or stash it at your house for later.
previously
Oh, yeah, that's true. I
like I
think
said,
on Dragon Age.
we're back with some Dragon Age, more Dragon
Yeah,
Age 2.
She's now collected all the companions and is about to finish the second.
She's
half
now
of the game.
way further than where we left off.
Yeah.
Which is what I prefer to do if we're gonna come back to a game. I want to come back and do it like towards the
obviously,
middle or
while we're
close to
doing
the
our
end.
thing, she's doing her thing, so she's not gonna hold up on her game just because we're not recording it.
Yeah.
Just go to
Of
your
course.
house.
But wouldn't it trigger
That's kind of what I want to happen. I told you you're gonna have to do a thing with Isabella first.
Oh, okay.
Figure out whether or not she is gonna stay with you.
That's true. Also, I kind of want to stash my stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would still be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
You got that
Just
big
go
old
to the
booty.
chest. Your chest is downstairs. It's not in your bedroom.
My bad.
Wait, this is your house?
Yeah.
See, I've not been watching these, so I'm
I'm
on
rich
the-
now.
so
Yeah.
so. Tell me, previously on Dragon Age, what the fuck is going on now?
Okay, the end of Act 1, you go on the the main expedition that you were trying to save up money for. You find a whole bunch of treasure, so basically you get rich, and then you actually buy your family's old house back.
Neat.
So that's how
Yeah.
you end up with money.
Okay. So you
So
just
no one
inherited it.
I know you probably will.
You didn't have to work for that
You
money.
would buy your
No, you did. You
family's
found
old
it on
house.
an expedition you went on.
But too bad
But
I
then you
can't
still
do
like
that.
inherited
It's
it.
in a whole different country.
So you haven't worked
Oh, wait a
every
minute.
day
No, you
for that.
I
that
mean,
money.
you had to work to go.
You were
on
still
the
born
expedition.
into money. You're not really
I'm
a
just
common man.
Put everything
supposed
here.
Oh yeah, and of
Okay,
course, like I don't know.
guess.
You remember seeing their mom, like the mom.
Oh
character
yeah,
whole
the
time?
old woman
she's
who's
dead
just
now.
wrinkling her.
She did.
Aw.
Yeah.
She got turned into like.
But she had so much life
She
ahead of
got
her.
Frankenstein's monstered.
Yeah.
It was pretty fucked up.
She was mutilated and then she was put together by
Man,
this
shame. I
weird
miss.
person.
These guys live in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they live in my enchantment.
Enchantment.
God.
Not
But they're
enchantment.
nice. They give me things.
Yeah, this dude and his mentally disabled son. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's touching. It's a touching tale of father and son
Oh.
striving.
Fun fact, he's not actually his son.
Well, I can see it.
Yeah,
They definitely
he
don't look
found
alike.
him in the deep roads. And
Yeah, so he just take him in and like raise him.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
he's like his fucking.
Doesn't he also have like some sort of dark secret? Like he's more powerful than he looks.
Shit.
Sandal. Yeah.
Because they
Wait,
found like
no.
a bunch of dead demons and are like,
Yeah. he
"You're
killed
covered in
them all.
blood. How did you do that?"
Not enchantment.
Damn, I'm totally drawing a blank on the dude's name, but the guy from the stand, the Imomo Inn. That
Yeah.
smells enchantment.
Yeah.
Wait, where are we supposed to? Where's Isabella? I thought she's here.
Okay, that's what I said. Pull up your quest list because you have to do something first
Okay.
before. And
Puppy's
I have
in
to
the
know
way.
which ones
Yeah,
you
puppy's
have
blocking
that are
the
going
way.
to trigger it. Okay.
Demands of the coon. Following the coon.
Okay.
It's not
What's
the
the,
key.
what's the other one?
Thomas Cullen.
Okay, yeah. You have to open the letter first.
I think that was his name. Tom Cullen. Yeah, Tom Cullen.
I was like, who the fuck
M-O-O-N.
are you?
That spells Tom Cullen.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So
Except
get
it
that.
seems like Tom Cullen was smarter
Then
than
you
this
have to go
kid.
talk to the Viscount, and then when you go back to your house, they should be there.
What? Like glitched out into your armor.
Yeah, because I was wearing my home clothes. And
I
then
know.
go
I'm
out.
just.
I'm
Bioware
gonna
games.
bring 2 of my girlfriends because I like the drama.
Bioware games always seem buggy in a lot of ways, but not in a way that it, like fucks up the game. It's just like little things here and there.
Yeah.
Even Knights of the Old Republic has a lot of maps that feel really unfinished, so you're just like, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do now? There's a
Yeah.
whole lot of nothing.
MDK2 was very out there.
Yeah, but
Has some developmental issues. Still a great game. But
Maybe the programmers weren't paid enough to make the other map.
I imagine BioWare was at a very
how
small
far,
state at that point. Like
How
they weren't really
far-
funded much back then.
How far into Knights of the Old Republic did you get?
Ooh.
Because I got all the way
Uh,
to the dudes, the main bad guy.
I
always forget his
didn't get
name.
very far past the Jedi Temple the first time you go there. I think I was on the
Okay,
first
okay.
mission they send you on.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you got to where they
I
the Jedi Temple ends up. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm just gonna. It gets attacked.
I mean, like, you can pretty much tell me what happens, because it's going to be a while before I play it again, because I want to be able to play it
You
on
might as well
console,
just
because
do it.
playing it on PC is just too difficult because
Yeah,
of the number of
that's
issues
one
that
of the
the
few.
game has.
That's one of the few games that I think I will get on
Ugh, that is a small crown.
console also.
Yeah.
That does not look good on his ugly-ass testicle head.
No, it
It
does
also
not.
looks too small.
Exactly, it's just...
That's what
I
it
don't
says.
think he can take it off.
Squeezing.
I think he's been wearing it since he was a child.
His
Have-
head just
you
grew
could just
around
like
it.
put a lot
Yeah.
of soap and lubricate it.
It looks painful. I feel bad for him. Who is this guy?
He's the Viscount. He's in charge of the city.
So the king?
I mean,
Kind of like a prime minister sort of thing.
yeah.
Ah,
or
So like the Jarl.
yeah,
What
yeah.
is that?
That
But
would be
sure.
that would be closer.
Or
He's
Jarl.
he's in charge of
He's in charge of the areas
local
in
area.
Skyrim.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, just in those times. I'm sure Jarl was a real thing, potentially. I don't really know.
Wanna know? I can
Well, it's
look
like the
it up.
mayor.
The Jarl oversees the peasants.
Oversees
The
their
word Jarl
people.
is kind of strange in my ears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he
exactly.
Norse
It
or
sounds like a
Danish
sound
chief?
effect.
Ah,
a
see?
pirate.
Yeah, so he's a chief.
Ah,
Chieftain.
so it's more like a mayor, yeah.
Yeah, a mayor.
Okay.
He's a mayor.
That's what I think.
Okay. What
So
is
this
it?
guy's just a mayor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
That's why his crown is too small.
I don't know what he said.
he said
He
that I
told
need to
you
find
need to go
something
talk to the
or
Airshok, I
someone.
think.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty
But
then.
pull up your map. No, when you
Oh,
leave
when
here,
I
the
go
area
out.
map.
I was
Yeah,
confused.
obviously, duh.
Okay, so you must have to go
To the docks.
back to your house first. So I'm pretty sure once you go there and you talk to him, it like triggers everything at the end.
So, yeah, your
It's
difficulty
saving.
of the understanding of the word or Jarl or trying to get your head around that being a word reminds me of. I was going to ask you, how many languages do you know, Diva?
I know 3 languages.
Tree.
Yeah. Why?
It came up at work. We were talking about just languages, and
Mhm.
someone was asking me
Okay, I
certain
guess go
things
talk to
about
the Airshok.
conjunctions or whatever in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't know Spanish. I know, like it's a shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's talking about just conversations about language and accents and
Mhm.
stuff, and not in the racist way, like an actual conversation. So it was enjoyable. But honestly, most recent, you came up in the conversation because we were just like, my sister-in-law knows languages. I don't know how many. I've never actually asked.
At least 2.
I know more than 2. Yeah.
I mean, I can understand some Chinese words and like some Pinoy words if they say something because it's
Filipino.
Yeah, Tagalog. I mean, Pinoy is how you address the.
I know what I'm saying. You're
Filipinos.
saying
Yeah,
you're saying Pinoy.
Filipinos.
It's like it's from Pit.
Oh no, the
God.
cat's hissing.
Okay, more
Anyway.
cat trauma.
So yeah.
I feel like I want to learn Spanish though because the way they arrange the words
Man,
are kind of similar to
I
mine.
want to learn Spanish.
You.
I need to. I took one class and then I took German for 3 years, and I didn't retain much of any of it.
German is like the hardest language.
took
I
Spanish
like
for 3
German.
years and
I
I
enjoyed
Sure about
German,
that, Lo?
but I probably really should have just taken Spanish. I mean, that's what, it would make sense. Like, our last name is German, but we're Hispanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's what I always
complicated.
tell people is like, fucking
It's like
Papa,
our late
Papa
grandfather-
spoke Spanish, so we
Well,
should have.
Our late grandfather is technically half German,
Yes.
so he was half German, half Guatemalan. But because he grew up in Guatemala, he spoke Spanish.
Like, it would have been nice to have been able to speak to him in Spanish.
Yeah.
At times. Because I would have really enjoyed actually having conversations with him. It's just that my language barrier is just kind of so thick for like a child to try to get through his, just his accent.
Yeah.
Okay, where should we
Yeah.
go? There's like 2
It's
points.
just they're both gonna take you the same place.
Okay, cool.
You got to go
That's
to the
pretty
Canary
nifty.
That's like-
compound.
It's fun though to experience somebody experiencing a new language or accents for the first time and trying to gap that barrier,
Oh wait, she
or
can't
cross
go.
that barrier, not
Yeah.
gap that barrier,
No,
like that.
Isabella won't go in with you.
Just make the barrier bigger. But and in a way that's helpful, trying to actually
You're gonna find
really
out why very soon.
Okay.
like just trying to speak to anybody who's like from a different place and like trying to understand and like
Yeah.
teach and learn. You know,
That's how it is.
like it's kind of fun. Like shit. That's why I don't find it totally annoying when like you run to a Spanish person and say speak English.
Why does it sound Chinese? Or Japanese in that sense?
And it's like, yeah, man, let's try to fucking bridge this shit and figure it out.
People say that if you speak another language, you think differently, and that's kind of true because my way of
That's what I
thinking
wonder.
is
Is like,
different.
I remember asking a kid in fucking high school, fucking senior year. The dude was like close to graduation, chilling in senior lounge. We asked him, "Hey, dude," because he was like, I don't think he was straight from Mexico. He was definitely like straight Spanish though, like no white in him whatsoever. Like his sister spoke way better English than he did. But we just asked him, "Hey,
Always
dude,
seems to be the case.
you know English, obviously, but you speak more like you speak Spanish first. What language do you think in?"
Yeah, people ask me that all the time.
Yeah, and I've never seen somebody so dumbfounded and just incapable of giving an answer because he truly didn't know. And it was so like just holy shit, that's
I asked a girl that once
Ooh.
who was she was bilingual Spanish and English, and I asked her that. She was like, I mean, it kind of depends on her mood, because sometimes she would think more in Spanish and sometimes more in English, and sometimes like a mix of both.
so Diva, when you're angry, which language do you think in?
Indonesian. Because I know she dreams in Indonesian because
And
she talks in her
I can
sleep.
definitely
I hear
tell
her yelling at people.
I
when you're
yell
getting
at
aggravated
Yeah.
at video games or just things. It doesn't. You don't get aggravated in English.
That's true. She
Because I
doesn't.
told you did that
Yeah, I
in your
know.
sleep the other night. You were yelling at somebody,
Really?
and of course I can't repeat anything you're saying because I don't know the words other than the last one. You were
How
like,
did you just trigger this same conversation
Go block.
twice?
I have been paying attention. Is he
Anyway, what?
saying the same
You
things?
yelled
Yes.
"Go Block" at one point.
I yelled go
Before
block.
I
I
thought this
called
guy had
someone
horns,
stupid.
but
Yeah.
right here it looks like this dude has fucking hair that's just shaped into horns.
No, it's horns.
It's actual words.
It's horns. He has hair too.
It's not
I
like
feel like
the
they
other
should have made.
one.
Those
They,
are
I feel like they
uh,
should have made much more distinguishing colors difference between the horns and his fucking skin.
Yeah, why is it the same options again? I already answered him that, and then it.
Because he's
I
having the same
think
conversation. Somehow you
something's
triggered
go-
him to restart it twice.
He caught you in a time loop, Doctor Strange style.
Let me see.
He's the air shock.
Airshok, I've come to bargain.
By the way, since you guys only speak one language,
Yeah.
that's one thing I want to know because for the rest
I
of my
think
life,
in English.
well, obviously you wouldn't like think in I don't know Mandarin or something. I'd be like, Nick, what happened?
That would be amazing.
He can speak it, but only his thoughts are in Mandarin.
Dude, I could be and just not realizing it. My thoughts and the shit that comes out of my mouth are so fucked up. They don't match up half the time ever.
So it's like what Topher always say: you speak English and bad English.
Yeah. I'm dyslexic, so I speak horrible English.
Sometimes I'll have dreams listening to songs from like, foreign groups that I listen to, and the song will play perfectly in my head, but I'm like, how is it that my subconscious
Something
is
new
playing
happening?
the song in a completely different
No,
language,
it's
but
not-
it sounds
it's not
exactly
new,
the way
it's
it
just
would.
I
If,
I mean,
forgot
like,
that
you know,
this
I was
okay,
was
awake.
was.
You spoke to the djinn?
What?
The djinn?
Yes.
The wishmaster?
Yes. Okay.
What were you wondering?
Oh yeah.
Speaking
Our
one
our
language.
one language.
No, it's kind of weird for me because I mean obviously
I mean, I
you
can tell
guys
you
are
it sucks. I kind of hate it.
obviously you guys are from here and most games and most movies are in English and everything.
For some
How does
reason,
it
that's
feel
considered universal.
Yeah, but how does it feel like when you see or hear something from different language? Because like for example, like my dad when he hears me speak English, what he hears in his ear is joie, 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 because that's how English sounds like to him. And like a lot of my other friends say when they hear me speak Indonesian, they hear krang 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 because that's what I use. A lot of words
Kinda.
have that. Yeah.
I
Sounds
guess.
So
like
it's
that.
something like that. You know, like how French is like.
Yeah, there's definitely recurring like sounds
Sounds,
in
yeah.
certain
Exactly.
languages, I guess. But I don't know, like I definitely hear words and I can distinguish between most
This word
different.
and next word.
No, I mean like most different languages
Oh,
and
what
stuff.
it
Like
is.
I know the difference between Chinese and Japanese. I can't tell you how I know. I can't really give the specifics or anything. But that being said, I don't understand a single word of it. Is the whole
But you
thing.
just know that that word means something.
And
that
sometimes
you
if I'm really
know
not
it.
paying attention, like watching the raid, it sometimes I don't want to say gibberish, but sometimes it sounds like you know,
Yeah, I know what you
gobbledygook.
mean, Yeah.
and it's like, oh fuck,
If
what
you
the-
really
that,
just
that
don't
was
know the
really just
words.
that was a sentence.
Wait,
But-
is that our brother?
But at
No,
the same
that's
time,
Seamus, the Viscount's son.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
like-
it was...
that's still like super interesting. That it's
And
like
he's
this
dead.
that somebody totally hears that string of something that just makes absolutely no sense to me. It just sounds like somebody like kind of having a seizure, and like it's a full sentence to them. And it's like I feel like English takes so many words to get anything across compared to most other languages, especially in like Asia.
Yeah, and to be honest, English, the reason why everyone speaks English because it's the easiest language to learn. It's the basic thing.
Really?
It's so basic.
I've
Except for
always
the
been
rules.
I've always been
Any
told that like where
language
it's
can learn
complicated.
English.
Like I've always been told that it's like the most complicated, just like trying to understand how many fucking stupid rules.
Yeah,
There
it's
are to
because
the
the rules in
language.
other
Yeah, like the
languages
fucking
make more
grammars
sense and they're a lot
Yeah.
more linear.
A lot of it, like even learning, like taking English class in school, it's like still like, what the fuck?
I
When
grew
you're
up
actually- when
speaking
you're
this, but
quizzed
what is
on it,
this?
It's like, holy shit, none of this makes sense.
But it's a language.
Oh, how is language is weird.
It's like, I understand until I'm being asked about it.
I told
Yeah.
you she's a bitch.
It's like I know how to
it's
speak good. Just
I don't speak English very good.
don't ask me how. But
But what I don't like about English is like the fact that you guys have past tense and future words like will and like I've eaten. I don't have that. I just said if I wanna say I ate something yesterday, I would just say I eat something yesterday. It's not like ate or eaten or
yeah,
whatever.
see, that's the stuff that I was always
Your
told makes
pronouns are also
language different
genderless.
and like
yeah,
weird.
and my pronouns are genderless. There's no he or she. We just say one word, which is Diva.
Meanwhile, German has he, she, and neutered.
See, that's why like I learned French in high school and I can't understand shit because when they start saying that table is masculine and this is feminine and I'm like,
Spanish is like that too.
yeah, I realized
Like,
that and
why?
I'm like, what? German
the hell
too,
is
I
that?
think.
Yeah, no, I'd say German. That's exactly what it was. It was feminine, masculine, and neutered words.
Yeah, like I don't have any of
Like-
that. Like I don't have he or she, so I don't have anything that's like masculine or feminine. Everything is just like that. It's that.
I'm trying to
That's
remember which word is like.
I don't know if a table is a male or a girl. Table is a table, you know? So it's like that.
It's like L and la and then the
Man, I
noun.
really should have paid more attention to German. That shit is just gone now. It's been years since I've fucking thought about it. German was a waste of my time. The teacher was just really cool.
What do you learn, like, in German? Like, to what point did you learn?
I only got to
Unfortunately.
German 3, which was only year 3, so nothing like some pretty fucking out there shit. You know, had a form or sentence was like
Oh,
year
okay.
1.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't even remember what made it so difficult. By year fucking 3, though, I was just checked out.
See, if it was like the way that, because I went through Spanish up through year 3, and by the 3rd year, it was like a whole bunch of like actually like writing out paragraphs and
Oh my
like
god.
writing like all sorts of stuff and like converting like big chunks and like reading a whole bunch of shit that's like in
Yeah,
Spanish.
like that was one of the
It started
projects.
getting really
Is that
difficult.
like one of the videos?
Wait, is shit's going down as we talk about
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else?
Chris is actually paying attention. Again.
What happened, Will?
She's walking through the
the
stairs.
Grand Cleric basically
She was
told her
exposed
off.
as as a bitch.
Yeah, and it's like you're doing
Uh,
this and you're
dude. Who the who the
her.
fuck
Here
is this
goes
guy?
The war.
Oh no.
This isn't like a little boy being shoved out of a tower.
He's retaliating because she
Oh
killed
Ooh.
crap.
the
She's
Viscount's
fine.
son, who's one of their Canary
You look totally
converts.
chill with it.
I don't have eyebrows, so I probably don't show emotions.
You're just.
Yeah, basically.
And then she's like, "Oh God,
She's
no!"
like,
And
huh.
the Canary like, "We're going to war."
What the fuck?
I don't understand
Just all
any
just-
of this.
Everything's just kind of confusing to me.
Everybody seems really
The guy just
chill
came
about
in
this
like,
stuff.
all right, bye. I'm gonna try to find my way out of here.
Oh yeah, how did this guy die? What happened to him?
The grand or not the Grand Cleric, Mother Patrice killed him.
The chick who just got shot in the
Mm.
face.
She's trying to make it seem like you did it, you and the Kunari did it, because she's been trying to start a war with the Kunari since Act 1.
Don't start a war.
That's the good choice. There's a halo in that
That's
choice.
racist.
True.
You gotta go
And
with the sarcastic answer, because that's not being racist. It's being like, hey, these guys, they have a total right to like
It's still
live the way
funny.
they want.
It's just not funny.
Sauron wasn't wrong.
To be honest. Yeah.
He just wanted to give the orcs a place to live.
Get on this
He's-
again.
He was a decent dude. Man and elves pretty high on a horse, you know? And he just wanted to knock him down a peg. And, like, give my people their fucking dues or whatever.
True.
So are you saying that Sauron literally made job, opportunities for like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did pretty good with,
Okay,
like, really
to catch a thief.
raising,
Now you
like,
have to go to your house.
giving
Okay.
them cause, giving them jobs, giving them new places to live, trying to, take back the land that probably was theirs
That sounds like
before. Because everybody just hates them because they're ugly. I mean...
they are really ugly.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve
Besides
to
the
live
point,
like
though.
anybody else. They're so angry because they're all bunched together. Like, spread them out a little bit. They'll be pretty chill. Give them some of that fucking Gandalf weed.
Pipe
Sounds like-
weed.
Yeah, what's that shit that he gave to that Radagast son of a bitch from the Hobbit movie that nobody cared about?
See, I didn't watch The Hobbit.
Yeah, it was a
Never
piece of shit.
bothered. I just
Hash.
Lord of the Rings. Are just
Oh yeah,
Pipe weed.
hashish.
the hell is that?
The hardest of Irene.
She just triggered Isabella.
You have to do what Isabella wants you to, or she'll leave.
I would do anything Isabella tells me to.
Oh, I bet you would.
The redhead's Isabel, right?
No, the redhead is Aveline. Isabella's the pirate.
Yeah.
The chick in the
my
background.
romance.
That
Her.
one.
I
I'm romancing her.
mean, okay.
She hot.
I'm shocked.
Hey, I didn't draw my eyebrows today, so you know what emotions I have. I have some eyebrows.
It's not that bad. I've seen people with much worse.
Well, yeah, mine is not the worst.
I've seen people with some horrible eyebrows that don't deserve eyebrows.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's kind of funny that you bring up the whole language thing because we literally talked about that today while we're having lunch.
We did.
About how he
Sounds
was
like-
staying in Malaysia and he has to simplify his English for people over there.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak to them the way I speak to you because then they won't understand because some of the words are kind of complicated for them.
Sounds like our stories were connected by a theme.
I want to make
Okay.
a Final Fantasy sound effect, but I forgot what's the sound effect.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, which
Everyone just kind of
tisk,
sounded
tisk,
racist.
tisk. Yeah.
Jeez. You
Ah, damn
fucker,
it.
don't pick a fight.
Don't you hiss at me?
I'm gonna punch you in the head.
Don't punch the cat in the head, please.
She's picking on my cat. She's picking on my baby.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'll pick her. I'll hold my
But
controller.
you're playing the
Ah.
game. How are you gonna make a decision?
Picking who up?
Careful when she's all riled up.
You should have moved her instead.
No, stuff's happening.
Back to Varric telling Cassandra the story.
I swear, they were fucking, and they were roommates.
My God, they were roommates.
Stop. You know, it's kind of funny that the whole story starts with him telling Cassandra stuff. It feels very like
Self-serving.
early 2000 movies, you know, like gangster movies, like Snatch or something. You never knew what happened. Freeze frame.
Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to tell this story. Being a gangster.
Yep.
Because the end of this game sets up directly for Inquisition.
We're gonna have to have her start a game in Inquisition
That's a victory sound. Love.
next to my game.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
sound effect for anything.
Okay.
You're playing on PS3. I have it
Yeah.
on 1.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. By the way, are you sure that cord is somewhere with your shit? That
I am 90% sure.
because if we need to, I'll totally go buy a cord that's compatible. I just have to bring something with me to be able to know which cord I'm buying,
I am 90
so that we can expand our recording possibilities.
Or in a couple of weeks, we can just get a PS4.
Ooh, that too. Yeah.
After PS4, then we can save to get a Switch.
But our PS4 is backwards compatible.
I think so, yeah.
And will the games that I have on my PS3 go over to the PS4? Because my PlayStation Network is kind of all jacked up and I don't know if I can really sign into it.
I always feel bad killing all these Mabaris.
Or at least my-
because they're puppies.
PlayStation Network Plus
They're
is
just doing what they're
like
doing.
invalid
Yeah,
now, and I
know,
can't
that's why
seem
I
to
feel bad,
get it
because they're
back
just
on.
Puppies that don't know what to do and they just
You
want
know.
to protect people.
Oh no, you told me your PlayStation Network's all fucked up.
I mean, I'm
We
gonna be
killing
making
dogs.
my own account because I don't have an account.
Yeah, there's just like games like Resident Evil 2 and God of War
Yeah.
1 through 2. I forgot I actually own 3.
PlayStation 4 is not backwards compatible and cannot play PS3, PS2, or PS1 disc-based
God
games.
Fuck
damn
me.
it, PlayStation.
PlayStation, I want to root for you, but you keep doing shit like this.
Sony.
Dinkelberg. I mean,
So yeah, we will need
Sony.
that cord then to be able to play the games that I have on PS3.
Yeah.
So
I'll look for it whenever I go back to Greenwood.
like Max Payne 4. Her ass is way out there. What is she doing?
She's trying to get you to come buy her wares.
Oh, it sort of works.
You're going the wrong
Yeah,
way.
can I
Oh,
buy
I
the
did.
clothes off of your
I thought
skin?
that was the only thing I need to do to fight the Mabaris.
No, you have to.
Hey,
Ca-
girl.
This isn't Fallout New Vegas.
And Max Payne 4
no
isn't a thing.
Yeah.
That's what I thought after you said it. I was like, wait a second.
At least somebody noticed.
Nope, don't go to the hangman. Go right. Keep going that way. Nope, the other way. Down the stairs.
We also need to figure out a way that we can do
Go to the right. Go to the right. Not
Right,
that way.
right, it's here.
Down there.
the original Battlefront 2.
Well, I'm gonna
Go
see
to
if
the
I
right.
can
Not that
record
way,
it
go to the other door.
on my laptop.
Like on
But-
Steam.
Yeah, I'm afraid it might lag though.
Yeah.
Okay, pull up your quest thing. That's
Because
where
I
you're
would,
supposed
I
to
feel like I
have
would
to
enjoy
go.
it better if we did it like on the PS2, like the good old days.
Yeah,
split
but
screen.
we have no way of recording it. Is a problem.
I know we would
so-
have to figure something
need
out with
to
that.
have
I know
Isabella with me.
there is a
Is
way.
she not with you?
No, she's
Oh, that's
I just
why.
don't know it.
Emulator.
Okay, so you have to go. You might as well just
But
go.
Yeah,
then at the same
maybe.
time, that's
Switch
also
out.
on the computer, so I might as well just, I've got it on Steam. So.
I gotta buy a new computer. I
Yeah.
say it all the
So-
time.
So do I.
I just need the money.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have the money now. It's just spending it all at once.
It's hurtful. a little
Yeah,
bit.
it is. You will be like, oh, that's so cool, I have a new laptop.
I'm-
And then you will look at your bank account and you're like, oh, that's not cool
I
at
know,
all.
I like being financially sound, but I need a new computer.
You really do.
Honestly, I should really just check the computer that I have now to see if I can get it to do anything.
Oh wait, there's still more enemies. No, I don't want to kill my Baris. I'm sorry, puppies.
You should feel horrible about yourself.
I do all the damn time because I have a Mabari in my house blocking the stairway.
You can make
Imagine
him
someone coming in
join you
and
a fight.
fucking hitting him with lightning.
Wait, you can?
Yeah, I told you that.
You didn't hear?
I don't know.
It's pull up your radial menu.
This
What, you're
one?
talking
Yep.
about summoning your dog?
Yeah.
She's
go
told you that
to-
1,000 times,
yeah,
love.
It's like an
It's like
it's one of the like not activate spells, but like the lengthy ones. I don't remember what the other option is. Sustained. It's a sustained spell.
should we just go to Hangman because we can change parties there? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now you have to guide me to Hangman because this map is confusing me at
You're
least.
going.
I'm not good.
No,
with
go up the
maps.
stairs, not that way. I had to see where you were for a minute. Go right.
For a generation
Hello,
that
cat.
actually used
Go
maps
underneath that,
before,
hanging man.
I suck at it. I had to use maps like a few times when we
Cat.
travel before GPS exists.
Your claws are so violent.
Yeah, she needs a.
I feel like you just peed a little.
I know, that's what I was just thinking.
That looked like me. But that's not me. No, like my character, not me. I need to take you out, Varric, and change it.
Do you have any more?
Oh yeah, bullet points.
I mean, yeah, but I don't. I'm trying to find good ways to segue them in because even the ones that I've touched on the ones that I wrote down.
Ah, okay.
And you picked up on sort of one of them, because I wanted to discuss like just this learning process of starting out with recording, doing the shit.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in a little bit. Like Diva has experience with it. I have experience with listening to him.
Plenty.
I haven't put
Oh,
any
boy.
of that into the way we record it, because obviously I'm missing things like introducing ourselves and having an intro and an outro and keeping to any sort of point.
Okay, you're gonna want
You
to
know.
read this shit because you're about to find out why
Yeah.
Isabella won't
You
go
got it.
into the Kanai compound.
Ah, I want to know. I've been itching to know.
You don't even know what's going on.
I have a bedtime sooner than anybody
I
else's
know.
over the summer, and it kind of sucks.
It more than
Uh,
kinda sucks.
It's just one more month, isn't it?
Okay, technically we still have to go through all of June. It's only
School
the 7th.
starts before August this year.
Does it really?
Yeah, that's gotta suck for them.
No, not for you though.
Kind of does though, because the renovation on the school's still gonna be going when school starts.
Oh.
Like, we
That
have
was at the school I was working
the
at.
parts planned out, like my side of the building that I clean, and the front end of the building, like the offices and shit. That's all being done right now. They're focusing on the offices and shit though. I clean second or kindergarten. Why did I start with second? Thinking through the hallways. Fucking kindergarten through second grade. Yeah, I clean those classes. First and second grade are being like torn apart already. Like they are torn apart
Right.
already, and they just need all the fucking shit done to them to make them look nice and new again. But the kindergarten side, which is literally right there, and that's what I'm cleaning now. And the only reason I can clean them is because they're not doing the kindergarten side until Christmas.
Oh.
But they're doing
Construction
the
at the elementary
other side
schools
of
is
the
messed
school,
up.
3rd through 5th grade. I think after
God damn
they
it,
do
Mara.
my side,
Pinch your
Mhm.
face.
and then they're going back
I know
over to the
she's
kindergarten. I don't quite understand. It's all very confusing. I'm just a fucking custodian.
I'm just here to clean.
Wasn't it? There's like a scene from a movie we watched recently. I'm just a janitor or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Breakfast
that-
Club?
What?
I don't know.
I don't remember. But it just said, I don't know
You
what's
have
going on.
to-
I'm just the janitor.
Oh no, I watched Breakfast Club. You fucked up.
You did fuck up. She's gonna leave now. You're gonna have to reload your save.
God.
Which I was about to tell you before you clicked it. You have to give it back to
Now
her.
how are you gonna titty fuck her?
Actually,
There she goes. She's all pissed off.
yeah, she's gonna leave.
Why weren't you paying attention? Should've been paying attention.
I already made a decision that's like bad yesterday, but not really bad apparently because
I thought it was- I
was
thought
gonna
it was
be gone,
bad.
but no.
But yeah, because I have to work
Oh, that
way
guy
early in
looks
the morning
like that guy from
over the
House.
summers
Forgot
for
his
this
name.
renovation,
You might
I
have to just reload
am
now.
missing everything that's been going on in these
Well, once
games and
this
shit.
is over.
Like, I go to bed, like, when these guys have only been awake for maybe 3 hours.
Yeah. I only see
That's
Nick for
a-
like what, 2 hours, and
that's
then
a
he said,
little.
"I'm gonna go to sleep now."
Because I'm tired. I wake up at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, like
Every day.
this morning you woke up
Yeah, I
and
heard
I
you.
just felt, I just went to bed, and I hear you like coughing and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
saw-
oh, Nick's
I
awake.
saw your Instagram story and I was like, 3:22. Damn, they stayed up for like an hour after I went to bed.
Yeah.
I need to start taking some fucking Robitussin when I wake up.
Yeah, we just get caught up talking like a married couple.
Lame.
Whatever, Nick.
Okay.
Reload your save.
We are cute.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, reload your save. Stop getting into the action.
Cause you fucked up. You lost the chick that you wanna fuck.
Hang on.
Just go here. Or this one.
Year 4.
Yeah, don't load that.
How
That's-
much more intense is that
don't
than year
load-
0?
That is gonna take.
Take it back to like
No,
me
no,
talking.
no,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
She's saying don't load.
load that.
Ah.
That is gonna take you way back to the beginning of Act 2. You would have to do everything again. Okay, hit cancel.
This one.
Okay, no, okay.
I feel like you want to go to 349 since it's
Try
the
to
bigger number.
Reload the Lost and Foundry and see what it
I
does.
feel like the bigger number is like the last save.
It is
so
the last
like, That's
save.
probably the better one to go to.
But it might be too late. She might have to.
Oh, you might have
You
fucked
might
that
have
lost
real
big.
fucked
Isabella
up.
forever. Well, now you don't have to choose between her and Meryl.
I mean,
Because I already decided that I want to choose Meryl anyway. See,
you
look
have,
at
you
this.
might have done fuck.
Eh,
Now,
I done goofed
She,
again.
you might have made her like you enough that she comes back anyway. We're gonna have to find out.
So should we just go and see? And
You can't. I would keep going because otherwise you're gonna have to load back into the game that you loaded when we started doing this. And do all that shit again.
Right, because I am dumb and like that sometimes. I don't save as much as I should.
This is true.
Because sometimes you just get.
I'm
into
constantly
the
having
game
to
so
remind you
much.
all the time.
Yeah.
Especially
Because I'm
when
like,
you're
oh,
drawing.
No, I'm strong enough. I can fight this monster.
Especially like
and
the
then I
couple
die 3
times that like you've super died and had to go like way back because
yeah,
you didn't save.
remember? Was it the time that I had to kill like a bunch of crazy guards at that dwarf's house? And I died like 3 times
Yeah.
because I thought that I'm strong enough. I can do it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that kind of thing happened to me when I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2. And like,
Like you don't save.
I went all day. I was homesick from school. I played through more than half the game, and then the system froze.
Oh.
And I didn't save
no.
once. And I was like, I'm gonna go throw up.
That's
Sometimes
terrible.
that's just what it does to you.
That sucks.
I was furious. As furious as an adolescent could get. Went downstairs, mom was watching Dr. Drew or some shit.
You always get that letter, even if she comes back. She always
like,
leaves that
fuck it.
letter.
Okay.
Here's a thought.
It's okay. I'm choosing you anyway, girlfriend.
Just thinking of like things like Dr. Phil and how occasionally Dr. Phil would like jump into the paranormal, bring Sylvia Brown up and shit.
Oh yeah.
Listen, Diva, how do you feel about ghosts? Not the band,
We already heard you like them.
but just spooks, specters.
Ghosts.
Yeah, them people,
Them people.
them
Them
dead,
famous
them dead
Spirits and
folks.
stuff. lot of people told me that they don't believe in it, but even though
Your neck
I'm
is
very realistic in things,
is
but
wrong
ghosts are
with her
scary as
neck?
shit.
Who?
The elf chick.
She's got her armor goes all the way up.
Her neck looks fucked up.
What do you mean?
Like thin, just broken at the
Oh
collarbone.
yeah, she is very
Yeah,
small.
because yeah,
Well, she's an elf.
she's an elf, and they're all skinny, and all the elves in this
Wait,
game
what?
look like
Oh,
that,
okay.
except
Yeah,
Fenris
like-
doesn't, because he's more of like a warrior. But all of your female elves look like that.
They
Yeah,
look
that's what
fucked up.
that's what I
but-
like about Skyrim is how
They still have a similar body shape.
it's like 3 different types of elves, but they're all like
Bethesda doesn't know how to make multiple
they
body shapes.
really make them look not human.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
No, you're about
that's
to
what I
trigger your
prefer.
in-game.
Yeah, the faces anyway.
Well, yeah.
You have
That's
to
what I mean.
put Adeline.
Because
in
they
the
don't look
party.
like just pretty people with
Okay.
pointy ears. They're just like
Yeah. They don't look like Legolas. They look like another
Okay,
worldly
just kidding.
being.
I guess just go in. She must
But-
have
Can't
followed you.
change parties.
Yeah, like you and me though, Chris. Like we,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to say we were born on like ghost stories. Really, we're just like all that, but we were definitely raised right, just the way we grew up, like
Yeah.
fascinated with the paranormal,
yeah,
Probably
ghost
all the
stories, and
horror shit.
ghost evidence,
big
like
time.
EVPs.
I still love that stuff.
I'm pretty sure I
eat it right
still
up.
have our old book of like ghost stories and shit, and true ghost experiences.
Yeah, I
Because
know we got a couple of those books laying around.
that
here
shit
somewhere.
that like, because we were lame like this. Like during summer break, we would occasionally do night school with our younger brothers.
Yeah,
But all night school was just talking about spooky shit.
yeah. Talking about ghosts, telling ghost stories.
Make a fucking tent out of the bunk bed.
Aw,
and
that's
do night school.
adorable.
We read a lot of shit out of that, like real ghost evidence book. Between that and just the scary stories to tell in the dark.
Wait,
Or we'd also have those websites we'd go
This
to.
is
Yeah,
where
once
Or
we
just
learned how
watch
to use
videos
the
and look through
computer.
pictures.
Gonna start regardless.
okay.
Because it would be funny, because like we would tell these stories and like really, I feel like you and me did it more for like Tracy and Joey,
You
just
get
like
more respect
kind of
from
entertain them, I guess. But like also just kind of, touching into our own fascination with that
Yeah,
stuff. And be funny while we're talking about it. Not funny, but just like we're having a good time. And then it's like, hey, I gotta go pee. Step out in the hallway, just.
it's dark out
Hi guys, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Not scared, just want to see how fast I am.
Yeah, right.
Time me.
Oh my god. Did I tell you about the story?
Pee,
so
that-
it's
pee,
like-
looking over your shoulders, you're getting all over the seat.
As soon as you hit the light switch in the bathroom, just book it back. Shit, I missed. Go back.
I
Fucking
mean-
bust your hand on the light switch because you're not paying attention.
Kind of important.
Okay.
Ooh, weird ass looking elves.
Yeah, the elves in this game.
Ooh,
He's
shit.
tripping balls.
Yeah, it does.
They killed a guard because he raped their sister. And the
Oh.
guard
Asshole.
didn't do anything about it, so they decided to murder him.
Justified.
I think it's
Exactly.
justified.
Don't victim blame people.
It's pretty interesting that this big ass Satan guy is like, yeah, guard raped a person.
He's in the
Fuck 'em.
right. Let him go.
So what should I say?
I
Yes,
would
it
say
is.
that. That's what I always say.
Okay.
But it's true.
This guy's right.
I like
What
these
do you
guys. I do
expect
want
to
to
happen?
start a new game as one of these guys. But I don't want to end my elf game
You don't have
because
to end it. You can save
I
multiple
know
saves.
I'm so drawn into her already. I like her. She's cool.
Nah,
Are you also a mage?
I don't
in that
think so.
one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
And if I start one as one of these guys, I'm probably still going to be a mage.
Ooh, mage Kunari.
It
sounds
takes
cool.
me a while to branch out of the mage thing. I like doing at least one with every race. And then I'll go into one and be like, I'll use swords sometimes, but then I still focus on magic. I can't help it.
Ooh, I'm a worthy rival.
You gained Airshock's respect.
Hell yeah, I like
Boss Elite
respect.
on.
Ding 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 ding.
what a metaphor this whole game is. This story.
To be honest, don't all games kind of show like, hey, this is what politics is like. Hey, this is what human rights is like. I mean, Star Wars is basically
Oh, Jesus.
political
What is this happening? I was on your side.
because I told him that we
Jeez.
deserve another
Strong
chance.
punch.
It's because that's what the Kunari do. They believe that
They don't seem like they're really looking for the guys throwing the spears at them.
They're kind of like surrounded.
Yeah, but they're not
Really
even
pull my
looking to
arms out
make
like-
sure to avoid spears.
The
They're
fuck,
just
bruh?
looking straight
Yeah,
ahead.
basically.
I thought we were friends.
Because it doesn't matter that you took the Arashok side. He believes that Kirkwall is a lost cause and needs to be taken over.
Well, fucking let
Is
me
he
live
wrong?
for helping you.
No.
I
You
didn't
just
think
take
so.
over, give me a place.
Here's
like,
the
on my own,
thing.
and just-
Most things all end up inevitably siding with the bad guys because as long as
That
they're compelling,
makes sense.
like this stuff, I would side with the guys you're fighting against because they're right. I mean, as far as I can tell, they're not wrong. You know?
So
I
you
don't know,
tell
in
it's
the
like,
end, there's,
so
two sides to
your
everything.
city shits on this particular race, you do nothing about it, and then when they fight back, that's when you start cracking down on things.
You know, like Sauron. He wanted a ring of his own. The moment he does, right?
I like how
No.
you're
I
very
would take-
into Sauron
Okay,
stuff.
that works too.
Nice.
I would have
He's a
taken
cool guy.
Fenris because he's got the maul that does the Kunari damage, but
Can you
Because I
breathe?
always
Aw,
choose, like, there's like
Are you able to breathe?
one warrior, one mage, one rogue situation. That's how I usually make my party.
Like that dude's neck is so
Except you
thick, and that's
currently have
realistic.
3 distance fighters.
Well, he's also a
And
dwarf.
one
So.
Yeah,
warrior.
and her neck
Yeah,
is
yeah,
so
that's
just
true.
it gets thinner the further it goes down, and it's just like, what the hell's the matter with your fucking throat?
Holy shit! I have a lot of stuff that I can put for her.
You can
Well,
give
she
her
hasn't been
three.
in your party for a while. So.
Because I don't really like her.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You haven't had her for a while, so she's probably got a
Because
lot
she
of points
always judge what I do.
accumulating.
She's like a bad Morrigan. At least Morrigan's hot. Oh, that's one ability point. Okay, should I use that one?
Sure, you haven't upgraded any of this nonsense.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to bring it up just now since we were talking about ghosts.
Yeah.
Did
let's get
tell
back to that.
you the story that I used to see stuff when I was like 3 years old or something?
No, you haven't. See, this is kind of shit that fascinates me because I've heard plenty of these stories, even one from Chris himself.
Because when I was like 3 and I went to a funeral, my grandfather's funeral, and obviously it was at the graveyard and everything, so I was wandering by myself, and then I was with my mom. My mom came to get me from wherever I was at, and then I was waving at something, and my mom was like, "Who are you waving to?" And I said, "You know, Grandpa's friend." And she's like, "Where is he?" "He's right there. He's wearing a checkered shirt." And I was like, obviously nobody
What
there.
in the goddamn?
Yeah. I just remember the checkered because my mom immediately like, "Oh, okay, okay." And we're also raised to like whenever we pass somewhere that you know is not safe or like it's probably haunted, we always have to say "excuse me" to the spirit, so we respect that they're there. We don't like not acknowledge the existence.
So,
So you're just gonna totally ignore me?
Yeah, something
Thanks.
like that because it's like it's their turf, so you have to tell them, "Hey, excuse me, I'm gonna pass by here."
so it's immoral to cross the street as you're walking past a graveyard.
Yeah, so whenever you go to the graveyard, you always have to say, "Hey, we're
Just see a
gonna
couple
visit
guys."
for a while."
Just some guys.
Yeah. So yeah. But I don't know.
But-
People always say that if
So
you're
you wanna-
pure, then you can see them. Like kids, you know, kids are not like they don't know what pornography
Like
is or anything.
animals and dogs.
Yeah, like animals and dogs. So the fact that
Or
children
animals
can
and dogs. Children and animals, I meant. Children and animals.
Dogs are not animals, apparently.
They're special.
They're just a man's
They are.
best
They're just
friend.
not any animal.
And they're not as good as, you know, well,
Cats.
no, children aren't as good as dogs. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
because
yeah,
I feel
that-
like kids can see it because they still see things in a
Before
fun way.
before children turn to assholes. Cause that's something that I was thinking about at work the other day, where I'm like, I feel like people have said this kind of thing before, but it's like children may not be smarter than adults, but I feel like they understand life more than adults. Just because it's very simple. It's just, you know, they just kind of go day by day thinking about, like, what the hell do I want to do today? I want to do this. Why? Because I enjoy it. It's fun. You know, I want to have a good time. I want to go outside. I want to play. You know, I want to go inside, eat a Pop-Tart. Simple. They understand, like, what they want to do. You know, like, they understand
People
what
dying.
they're awake for.
Well, yeah. And they're also not afraid to fucking open their mouths because
Yeah, they'll just, to kids will say the darndest things.
until they're told, hey, stop doing that.
Like, have you seen a 2-year-old learning the word shit? It's hilarious. You can't laugh at it because they won't stop.
It's
but
really
at the
hard
same
not.
time, It's like,
Yeah,
God
they
damn
do
it.
because you find it amusing.
It's like, would you
They wanna
stop?
make you laugh.
Oh, why the shit should I?
I mean, good point.
You know, shit. I don't know. So where'd you learn that?
God damn it, kid,
Fuck
you
if I
can't
know.
say shit.
It's like certainly
Oh,
not.
there you go.
Not from TV.
Oh, Alistair,
Yep.
my former boyfriend in the other game.
The
I mean,
dude in
my
the armor?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Oh.
a
The
cute
dude with the helmet?
dumbass.
That
No,
wank.
him.
I like to do with the helmet better.
Fight with us.
We could use your penis.
No,